what you just saw. It's one of the most successful long-running lies in pop culture history. For decades, movies and TV told us that quicksand was a top-tier predator, a lurking, hungry monster just waiting to swallow you whole in a matter of seconds. But what if I told you that the truth is far stranger, far more interesting, and that you have been scientifically, physically incapable of dying the way Hollywood promised you would? That quicksand isn't a bottomless pit, but a fascinating and surprisingly survivable natural phenomenon. We're digging deep into the physics of fear, the science of sinking, and uncovering the real danger of quicksand that no one ever talks about. First, let's diagnose the cultural infection. A study in the 2010s analyzed decades of film and TV and found quicksand was a shockingly common plot device. It was the perfect PG-rated peril. It was environmental. It was slow enough for dramatic dialogue, and it was visually terrifying. But this collective myth did something insidious. It installed a faulty survival blueprint in our brains. The panic, the thrashing, the desperate grab for a vine, actions that movies framed as heroic. In reality, that's your one-way ticket down. Quicksand isn't a special type of sand. It's ordinary sand that has become supersaturated with water. Think of a packed sandcastle at the beach. The grains are locked together. Now imagine an underground spring forcing water up through that sand. The water gets trapped, surrounding each grain, pushing them apart. This creates a fragile, colloidal suspension, a solid-seeming surface that loses its strength the moment you disturb it. It's not a pit of glue. It's more like a physics trap. This is the key: sheer thickening. The faster you struggle, the more solid it becomes, trapping you. But when you move slowly, it flows. Let's do a practical experiment here. Let's drop this weighted ball, simulating a person falling in. Look at that. It didn't plummet. It settled. And that brings us to the most important number in this entire video: density. Quicksand is roughly twice as dense as you are. You are not physically heavy enough to sink completely. Archimedes' law saves your life here. You will sink only until the weight of the fluid you displace equals your own weight. Typically, you'll sink to your waist or chest, and then you'll float. The real danger of quicksand is not submersion. It's immobility and exposure. Imagine this. You're on a hike, alone. You step into a patch. You sink to your hips. You remember the movies and panic. Thrashing. This exhausts you, and because of that dilettante property, it makes the quicksand even more resistant to your movements, trapping you further. You're now stuck, up to your chest, in the middle of nowhere. The sun is beating down. You're losing energy and body heat to the cool, watery sand. Dehydration sets in. Hypothermia is a real risk, even in mild climates. If the tide is coming in, that's a lethal threat. Or, in a truly worst-case scenario, a predator finds you, utterly helpless. That is how quicksand kills, not by swallowing, but by stranding. It's a natural trap that holds you in place for Mother Nature's other elements to finish the job. So, you've fallen into the trap. What does science say you should actually do? Forget what you've seen. Rule 1. Dump the bag. If you're wearing a backpack, get it off. It's extra weight and will make you top-heavy. Don't struggle. Recline. This is counterintuitive. Lean back. Spread your arms wide. Think of it as sitting in a watery, uncomfortable hammock. This increases your surface area, improving buoyancy. You are now floating. The slow-motion wiggle. Escape is a game of patience, not power. You need to liquefy the sand around your legs gently. Slowly wiggle one leg, allowing water to seep in around it. It can take minutes. Once you've created a little space, try to pull that leg up toward the surface. Then do the same with the other. It's like trying to get out of a giant, dense pudding. Swim or roll. Once you've freed your legs, don't try to stand up in it again. Stay in your reclined, floating position and paddle or roll your way to solid ground. It's exhausting. It's terrifyingly slow, but it works. The goal is to defeat panic, because panic is the true engine of this particular disaster. Statistically, in the modern world, it is incredibly rare as a direct cause of death. There are almost no verified cases of people dying the Hollywood way in quicksand. A study a few years back found it makes for sensational headlines, but concrete evidence is scant. But does that mean it's harmless? Absolutely not. Its deadliness resides in context. A skilled, calm person with time and energy has an excellent chance of self-rescue. But an injured person, a child, someone alone in a remote area, or caught at a changing tide, the risk soars dramatically. It's a force multiplier for other dangers. It's also far less common than the movies suggest. You won't find it on well-trodden trails. It lurks in the specific, unstable zones between land and water, the very places we're often warned to be cautious anyway. In the end, quicksand is a perfect metaphor. The more you fight against a perilous situation in panic, the deeper you sink. The solution is counterintuitive: to stop, to think, to use calm and steady pressure. The real monster was never the sand itself. It was our own primal fear of being consumed by the earth, amplified by 1,000 stories. Hollywood didn't invent the fear, but they gave it a terrifying and largely false face. The truth is both reassuring and sobering. You are unlikely to ever encounter it. If you do, you are unlikely to be sucked under. But if you are alone, unprepared, and ruled by panic, it can still be a fatal trap. So, the next time you see it in a movie, you can smile. You know the secret. The deadly quicksand of legend is, for the most part, a mirage. But the need for a clear head in a crisis? That's as real as the ground beneath your feet, assuming it stays solid. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into nature's myths, hit that like button and subscribe for more. And let us know in the comments what other pop culture dangers should we investigate next. Until then, watch your step.